challenge after
Absolutely,
last game out?
absolutely. Really talented team, and they got a good blend of the three freshmen and then some very experienced players that two redshirt seniors and a couple grad transfers coming off the bench. So, real good mix of young talent and experienced players.
Zeke, for a freshman, it seems like physically he's obviously out there and matching up with anybody he's gone up against.
Oh, he plays with tremendous energy, very skilled around the basket. 60% from the field. I mean, he's finishing everything inside. So, very talented young man and very physical. You're right for a freshman.
And you got Shakur back. Does that help physically with kind of give you another presence there maybe that you were missing?
Yeah, no, definitely. He was out for 5 weeks and couldn't do anything because of the knee, so his conditioning's not very good. But no, he gives us a boost, and I don't think CJ will be able to play again this week. So, he's going to have to really do a good job.
For both games, you expect CJ to miss both?
Yeah, he hadn't practiced this week, and so I don't think he'll play much if he does.
Frustrating the way he'd been coming on the last few weeks.
Yeah, he was starting to make some really good progress. I felt good for him, and playing with a lot of energy, and something in the first half of the Alabama State game, and he hadn't been quite the same, and banged knees, and so he's just kind of beat up right now.
Opened the door for Chandler, to play more, and I think he was on the floor at the end of the game of Utah. What have you just made of his growth?
Chandler's done a great job. 8 points, 8 rebounds against Utah was really a big factor. Had 5 assists, 1 turnover, so that was really encouraging. No, Chandler's, he just get a little strength, and he's going to continue to develop his shooting. You add those two things into his game, his instincts are really good, his length is really good. He's got a chance to be awfully good player.
Well, against these two teams, will you have the ability to go 9, 10 guys and press a lot? It seems like in the preseason, the press and wearing guys down was a big factor.
I don't know. Arizona wants to play really fast. Arizona State with their great guards. Press will be some part of it, but I don't know how many guys we'll have available with CJ out in that, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Addy didn't play at Utah. Is this just a rotational thing based off
Colorado? Just cut the bench a little bit, and he's trying to work his way back in, which any good player will do. He's had a couple good practices here, so we'll just see how the game goes.
Stylistically, Dana, you talked last season about slowing down tempo, and that was out of necessity. He was short on depth and obviously came on late. You're at a slower tempo right now in KenPom than you were a year ago. You talked about being more open again. Are you playing at the tempo you want to be right now?
It varies game to game. Our tempo's bad, but if you want to go to KenPom, we're 6th offensively in efficiency. So, if we're going to play at that tempo and be 6, I don't mind. Our defensive numbers are where we got to improve. We're 60-something. If we're going to go look at KenPom numbers, and a big part of that is our rebounding. We give up too many second shots. So, again, I don't get too tied up in those. Are we moving the ball? Are we efficient? Are we getting good shots? We'll dictate if we need to play a little faster to get those good shots, we will. If we need to play a little slower to get those good shots. But I'm really more concerned about, is the ball going in? Are we moving it? At times, I think we've moved it really well and gotten really good shots. Other times, I haven't liked it. But if you look at those KenPom, the difference between 200 and 300 is 0.5 seconds, so am I going to worry about that? Nope.
Foley, another guy who can give you some physicality, but also had some trouble staying out of foul trouble. You need to find kind of a balance there to stay on the court and give you some physicality.
Yeah. No, he's definitely, got to keep working in. To be real honest, it'll probably be another month before he's totally ingrained in what we're doing. But he is making strides, and that's all we can ask. So he had a good couple days of practice here, so I sure hope he's ready to go.
And that's a body in this matchup, though, that could be unlike anything else you can throw at these guys.
Yeah, that, can't teach 6'11", so, it does give us something. His hands are really good. defensively we need him to be a little bit more active. I think that'll come with conditioning, but right now he's resting a little bit on the defensive end. We need him to be a little more active.
Personnel-wise on the front line, you guys have been in and out. That you've had to deal with fluctuations the last few weeks. But how appreciative you are to have the bodies you have when maybe a couple months ago that was a real question.
When Shakur was hurt and Dante even wasn't here going to Michigan, that was a concern. And fortunately, CJ really stepped up and played well there. But it's a work in progress, and we got a marathon. We don't have a sprint, and you just staying healthy is a big part of it. Obviously, we trying to work Shakur back in, and then we lose CJ here for a few games. So that's just a big part of it. And Dante continuing to make progress for our team is important.
On defense, I don't know how you compare with other teams, if it's better or worse, but it seems like there's just a bad habit of leaving the floor or leaving your feet on fakes, and it results in points for the other team. And how do you deal with that? I don't know if it's a problem any more than any other team, but it seems like it happens too much.
We foul too much. A lot of it's hand checks out front. Some of it's leaving our feet in the post. There's a variety of things that we have to improve on, no doubt. But I don't think there's any one area that we are deficient in. But there's a number of areas we definitely need improvement in.
A lot of national writers have brought up Player of the Year talk, and Peyton's been mentioned quite a bit in that. Where do you feel like his biggest impact on this team has been felt for you?
Well, his consistency. He's brought it every game. He didn't shoot it well in a couple games down the Bahamas, but he's very competitive. He's hit some big shots for us. But anytime you have a four-year player who has meant as much to our program as Peyton has, and then we win a few games, you're going to get mentioned, and he deserves it. And it just, whether he's in the running at the end, it's kind of a team thing. If our team wins, those guys get attention. If we're not winning games, then it kind of doesn't matter. But hopefully, we'll win enough games and he'll continue to play well, and our other players will continue to develop. We're playing a lot of new guys with him and a lot of freshmen, so hopefully they'll continue to get better.
A lot of new guys getting obviously their first taste of the Pac-12. How have they looked in that first trip, and how are they, preparing for this one of the biggest challenges in the Pac?
We could have played better at Colorado. We didn't play our best, and that's something that we've struggled with. We played hard at Utah. We didn't play real well, but we played hard. And Arizona's always been a battle. They're always talented, and Sean does a great job. So we know we'll have to play well, and it'll be a big challenge for our guys.
Some of the matchups have really come down to the last couple of minutes for you guys. What have you talked to your players about, and what has Peyton said about those matchups?
A lot of games, if you at the end of the season look at them, so many games are decided by 5 or fewer points. And so whether those possessions are earlier in the game, everybody really focuses on the ones at the end of the game, but a lot of those games are decided early, with easy baskets early that now you're digging yourself out of a hole the whole game. But people seem to remember those ones late, and Peyton's done some good things there. He made some big plays the other night for us at Utah, and so hopefully you win those close games, because that usually determines what kind of season you have.